favorite host with a lisp. Happy Monday to you of all times of the day or times of the week to come talk to you. Welcome to another episode of the Tweeple Podcast. It's been a long weekend, so I got a lot to explain and a handful of things to go over to today. So I just want you to bear with me for a few minutes while I go through it. We didn't get an episode Saturday because I had technical difficulties. I wound up breaking the mic that I actually use. I have a backup mic, but it wasn't working properly and the sound came out all bad. So I just decided not to do the episode. I'll save it actually for over the course of this week. I'm going to break it up into pieces and you'll probably get an episode damn near every day this week, even next Saturday, and we'll catch up on everything over again. It's a lot to go over. Just for today, though, I wanted to go over just this one thing, and it's the biggest story going on right now, and that's obviously the assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump. Everything that we know so far is mostly conjecture, so I figured I'd talk to you about it. And the fact that I actually brought this up a few months ago kind of scares me. Well, not exactly this, but remember we had the film Civil War, and I was telling everybody it's a movie that you need to go see, and I'm gonna tell you why I still think it's a movie that you need to see. But as far as the assassination attempt, all the news on it, the person that they had. That they believed took the shots at President Trump and wound up actually killing one person and wounding another. 20-year old. They say he's dead now. They killed him. He was approximately about 400 feet away when he fired the or whatever gun it was. They still haven't said exactly what weapon was used in the assassination attempt. Yeah, he fired. I want to say 4 shots, maybe 5. He wound up being killed. They still don't have any motive for what reason. I'm pretty sure we can all come to an agreement on what the motive was. Duh, right? And then this kid, because he wasn't but 20, this kid was ultimately killed at the scene. It's something that should have never happened. Never mind the fact that the idea of taking shots at a former president or even the president or anybody is a thing that shouldn't happen. But the fact that this kid had direct line of sight to somebody at a podium talking with a Secret Service detail. It doesn't matter how far away he was. He should have never had a chance in order to do it. Right? History tells us, going all the way back to the days before this country was ever founded, you don't take people lightly. Right. This isn't the first time we've had a president shot or shot at. This isn't the first time political office members have been shot at, whether they were a sitting president or otherwise. It's just something that shouldn't have happened. It drives me nuts to think into what may occur because of it, because people, you know, humans are weird. We have a tendency to do things and to overreact and to take our frustrations out on everybody else except the people who have done us wrong. Right? We've talked about that before. That's a mental health thing. But uh, for me, this all goes back to something I said a few months ago during my review for Civil War. Here, take a look. We keep thinking that these things can't happen, but yet this film reminds us that it only takes one match to light a powder keg. And that is the point of Civil War. It's not about Kirsten Dunst and her crew taking off to have an interview with the president. It's not about the wacky idea that Texas would join California in a faction. This is speculative fiction, by the way. Don't forget that part. It is not about the United States devolving into a civil war where everybody is after everybody else and our country becomes this war-torn dystopian wasteland. It's not about that. Watching Civil War, what I see is a reminder of the things we have to watch out for so it does not happen. Now, you're undoubtedly going to ask me the question, do I believe that a civil war could possibly start because of this assassination attempt over the weekend? Now, it's never a question of can it start. It's anything can happen. We've lived long enough to know that all things are eventualities. Things can happen. You never take things for granted. Now, can it? Sure, things can happen. Will it? Is the question that we should be asking ourselves. And my answer is I don't know. I don't know how much fervor people can gin up in order to get their point across. Now we've seen so many things over our lifetimes, um, regardless of how old we are, that have occurred, and they all start from the smallest thing. This isn't really a small thing. What we're looking at is, in my lifetime, there has been two assassination attempts, one against Ronald Reagan and now this one. The amount of anger in both of these situations, it's off the charts. The fact that a black man can become president, and as much fear and as much anger as that ginned up, nobody ever took a shot at President Obama or former President Obama. Nobody ever even came close. But the fact that this man has been president already, is not president, but is running for president again, and it and his just his very presence could gin up that much anger for somebody to take a gun, a rifle, whatever was used, and to take a shot at him to try to kill him. That says a lot. To me, that says everything I need to know about what the state of our country is in, and I don't like it. I don't worry so much about myself. I worry more about my kids and people younger than me. I haven't had a long life. I'm not that old, despite the gray. Um, but for this country to devolve into what seems like a civil war may be coming, for us to fall into that, for our country to turn into what we saw in the movie. And again, you need to see it. I worry so much about younger folks who haven't had a chance to experience anything in life because it's about them. It's never about myself. It's always about the folks coming behind me. Because as an adult, as someone who has had a handful of years in my life, that's pretty much where I'm at. And that's where most of us should be. We should be trying to make the world better for the folks coming behind us. And we are failing at that miserably, by the way. I don't know what's going to happen altogether going forward with all of this. I'm watching the news as best I can. A lot of it is just a lot of filler, a lot of talk, and a lot of people guessing what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen. But as I was saying with the review for Civil War, it was never about watching to see, um, you know, it was never about looking around ourselves to figure out could this happen. And like I said, anything can happen. It was about looking and seeing the things that are going on around us to stop it before it actually happens. And that's where we're at today. And I think that's where our minds need to be. Um, I can't say let the investigation happen and let us figure it out that way, because we're talking about our political system, and right now I think we all know across the board, does not matter what side of the spectrum you fall on, Republican, Democrat, Center, it doesn't matter. Our political system is broken, and most of these people are corrupt. So I don't know what's going to happen with an investigation when we clearly have video of, we see what happened. Um, I don't know what the investigation is going to give us that's going to change anybody's mind, really, in the long run. Today's Monday, Republican National Convention, which Trump will be attending. He will be picking his vice president candidate to run along with him for the rest of the race. It starts, the Republican National Convention starts today in Milwaukee. He said he's going to be there. Let's hope this all goes over without bloodshed. Let's hope and pray that the rest of this election season goes over without any type of bloodshed or any type of violence. I can't say that that's going to happen. I wish I was sure that that was going to happen. I just don't know. I don't. That's the honest to God truth. I don't know what's going to happen. Whatever happens, let's hope. Let's hope and pray that calmer heads do prevail over the long run. Because the last thing I want to see is exactly what happened in that movie. And again, if you haven't seen Civil War, it's a film that you need to watch. It's very enlightening. Like I said, it was a really good film, and that was a few months ago. And I think it's a film that needs to be revisited right about now. That's all I got for right now. Like I said, over the course of this week, we will be catching up on everything that we didn't get to last Saturday, and everything this Saturday will be from everything that happens this week. But we will absolutely be catching up on everything. We had a handful of passings over the weekend, like Shannon Doherty, Richard Simmons, Dr. Westheimer. It's a lot of people. We have a lot of trailers we have to get to. That's over on our Instagram page. If you haven't seen it, go over there and watch a bunch of trailers that came out over the last week. Um, like I said, just take care of yourself, please. I say it every single episode. Take care of yourself. Stay hydrated and stay blessed. That's gonna be my tag from now on. Stay hydrated, stay blessed, because that's the only thing we can possibly control in our lives, right? Besides that, it's time for us to go. For my producer Nikki Rev, who's actually out at the moment, we'll see you tomorrow with another episode and a handful of new stuff. So we'll end this episode the same way we end all episodes. God bless. I love you and peace. See you next time.
Style. Style is the answer to everything. A fresh way to approach a dull or dangerous thing. To do a dangerous thing with style is what I call art.